If I had to start a new screen printing shop, what would I do? If I had to build my business all over again from scratch, what would I do? How would I make that business better? How would I, what would I do to enjoy the business even more? What would I do to get more money from the business? What would I do to hire and train people? What equipment would I buy? What suppliers would I use? Like, what technology tools would I apply in my business? What systems and process would I build? Like, what would I do? Right. So, in this video series, you're going to find out a lot of these things that I would choose to do now if I started a new screen printing business. Right. So, for the folks that don't know, my name is Gavin. I am the founder of Steps.io. I also ran a screen printing business for 7 years. Right. So this screen printing business is something that we started from scratch, right? Literally from scratch. My wife had an idea and she was like, hey, let's make onesies for our kid. And at the time, I actually didn't really want to. I was working a regular job, a corporate job, and we was good. Like money was okay, we wasn't struggling. And I didn't feel like we should have put that at risk. So when she came to me with this idea about, starting this hobby. It wasn't even a screen printing business. At the time, we honestly, I didn't even know what screen printing was. Um, yeah, I really didn't want to do it. But over time, as I started to help her out, then I was like, oh, wow, we could do something with the screen printing thing. All right, so we started testing around. We first got a heat press. We did some stuff at home, helped out some families, open it up, asked around the neighborhood to see if some schools would take us on. They decided to take us on, and before you know it, we had a screen printing business. Manual screen printing business grew it to auto, multi autos, had embroidery. End up selling the business, got out of it, and now founded Steps.io. So that's the summary of the story, right? So there's a lot of things in between that, right? So, what would be some of those things that I would have done? I would continue to do because we did a lot of good things. But how about what would be some of those things that I would not do again, right? Or improve on? Because now the I'm able to look back to see and like, okay, this one we did good. This one we didn't do so good. All right. So you'd be able to learn from my mistakes and stuff like that. Okay. So here's one thing I think we did really well uh, in our business, and I'll share that with you. If you're thinking about starting a new screen printing shop, right? This is where you want to start. If you are already running a screen printing shop, right, you could take some of this and apply it to your business right now, right? So one thing I think we did really well is we really sat and thought about what we want our business to look like, the look and feel of the business, right? So I think that's really important because business is a long journey, right? Business is this thing that you're gonna create. Unless you like buying into a new business that's already living, if you're starting a new business, you're gonna be creating something, and this thing has to have personality, a look, a feel. And I think you should be super intentional on what that should be, right? If you take the time early on, you will not have all the answer, but you're gonna be guided by what's in your heart, what's in your mind, and your previous experience. And that's enough. That's enough to decide in your mind what you want uh, to happen the next 3, 5, 10 years, right? If you could set that foundation in the beginning, this will be so, so helpful. All right. So if I had to start a new screen printing business right now, day one, first thing, make sure I am locked in on my vision. And there's two parts of that, right? It's really because, like, especially if we are um, building a small business, the small business a lot of time is going to be a reflection of who we are as a person, right? So your personality is going to be a big part of your business. And that's like a beautiful thing. And what I see in the screen printing business, all of the screen printing shop, they are a reflection of their owner. And that's awesome, I think, right? Not a lot of industries where you could go into and you could do that, because screen printing business truly allows you to be who you are. As you grow your business, you're going to have your own type of clientele, your own customer. You get to build this thing, right? So if you start with this vision, then you just start to see it unfold right in front of your eyes. And it's like, what? I thought about this and it's coming to life. But there's two parts to, I think, to the vision, right? There's like a personal um, life vision. So I'm going to call it personal life. And then there's a business vision, right? So I say start with the personal life vision, right? Because this is going to determine like how, like, where your business fits in, right? So if you do not have a personal life vision, it's really, you should take some time to like really figure that out. What do you want for your life? What do you want for at the end of your life, right? If you could decide what that is, then your business will tuck in at, at the spot where you want it to tuck in at. But if you do it in reverse, then your business takes over your life. So set your personal vision or your life vision, right? Decide what that is. What do you want to see? Like, paint a picture in your mind. Imagine like you're like 70 years old and you want to look back at your life and like, huh, okay, I did something. I did something with this life. Like, what would be like the milestones that you would have accomplished for you to say that phrase right there, right? Or where would you be? Like, are you at the beach reading a book? And you are able to do that because, like, maybe your business fed or led you to that. Or you could be, I don't know, somewhere with your family. Like, whatever that picture is, be super clear about that. And personally, here's how I did that, right? So I actually used to work this night shift job before I actually started um, our screen printing business. And the beauty of working at night, there was not too much things going on. Just did my duties, was in my office. This gave me a lot of time to just think. And one of the things I did was just imagine, where would I be uh, in the future, and what that like vision is. And I try to get as vivid as possible. Like, where where am I? What am I wearing? Who am I with? Right? And I think I got some of that from stuff I had read before, from other things I had done with my corporate stuff. You know, they do a lot of these activities that kind of just help you, develop yourself. And that was one of the things I took away, right? Developing a clear path to where you want to get to, and then work backwards, uh, right? So start with the life vision. Business vision is really, what do you want for this thing? Because the business is really, it's for small business, it's part of you, but it's different. You have to treat your business like it's a business, right? Your life is one thing, your business is one thing. There's going to be an overlap, but give the business its own personality, its own um, its own thing, right? And your vision for your business should be able to, one, communicate to the new people that you're going to be bringing in, which is going to be your employees. Can they buy into that vision, right? Your customers, can they buy into that vision, right? If you could communicate that, your job down the line is a lot easier. And it gives you almost this foundation where, huh, you feel solid. You're not going left, zigzag everywhere. So, vision, right? Super important to start with that. And then number two things I would do, right? If I had to start my business all over again, right? Was think about people. And when I say people, it's like when you go in this thing, like in the beginning, you'll be able to do some things in your own. But if you really want, a lot of us get into business for freedom. A lot of us get into business for, we want to make money. A lot of us, we want to just accomplish something, right? We don't want to work for other people, right? But in order for you to accomplish what you're going to accomplish, you're going to need people. You're going to need people to help you. You're going to need people to buy from you. You're going to need people to support you. And you're going to need that. So think about the people and the type of people that you want to attract, right? Think about people. Now, your people is going to be the people that works with you and the customers that you work for, work with you, and your customers. Try to get as clear as possible about that, right? Because if you could, like, this will make your journey so much easier. Let's say if you find just one solid person to go on this thing with you, right? On this journey with you. It is so much more enjoyable if you don't have to do everything on your own, especially screen printing. All right, screen printing is manufacturing. There's so much steps in the process. In order for you to truly grow your business where you're making decent money, you really can't do it by yourself. Like you really can't. Um, yeah, you could start out from home, do your thing, but there's a cap. Like there's a capacity cap, and there's a cap of how much money you could make. And if you want to make more money and you want to make more impacts or more customers, you're gonna need people. But you have to decide up front what type of people you want to be with you. And this is not to say like be prejudiced or be, but you really want to be selective, like the character of those people that you're going to be working with. Because if you could have, let's say, a solid partner to go along with you, so much easier. A solid person that's going to do sales for you, so much easier. A solid screen printer, so much easier, right? Because I'll tell you this, we struggled with this for a long time where we got screen printer, lost them because they just didn't fit well. Got screen printer, lost them, right? Got customer service person, lost them, right? And it wasn't until like probably like 2, 3 years into it, then we started figuring out, okay, our energy should really just go on finding people, getting the right people, making sure that me as the owner is mainly focused on that, not really focusing on printing t-shirts or even selling t-shirt, but find the people that could print the t-shirt and find the people that could sell the t-shirt. Because if you could do that as the owner, your job becomes so much easier. Now you provided somebody with a job, and also you getting something in return because this person is going to be, once you pay them, there should be something left over, some value that they created that you could take, right? So I would say start with those two things. That's what I would start with. Now we're going to talk more about and like equipment and systems and processes and vendors and all that. But before all of that, these are your foundation of your business. Start with those two things. Everything else just works so much better. Don't start with these two things in mind, and then you're going to have chaos because there's no solid foundation. These are foundational to your business. Everything else is just add-ons, and that's gonna just like these are gonna support it. All right. So start with those. Vision, people. All right. So again, my name is Gavin. I'm the founder of Seps.io. We create production-ready art files at scale and at a fixed price for screen printers. All right. So I'll see you on the next episode.